Oh, hello, 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 everyone. This is the match between Fist and Omega. And this is going to be a pretty good one to watch if the last tournament these two teams fought is any indication.
Yeah, this is Height of Absurdity, and this was an absolutely a great match to watch in the January tournament. Fist, what many conceived was an upset of Omega, and now Omega is looking for revenge. You see Vincent Van Gogh, you've seen Omega's really beefed up its lineup a little bit. Fist having a couple different people, but now we are starting this kendo to determine who will get map and side choice.
And this is Nub versus Skeleton Meme, whose name is conflagrated with several letters and numbers. This is a great sword versus a hatchet.
Yeah, it's interesting. The hatchet shield meta was actually really prominent in Paris, so much so that they used to call the Paris meta way back in the day. It's a really strong dueling setup if you can actually get onto it.
That works.
Yep.
And Aori just taken down Nub. No subtlety whatsoever. Sword of War versus Brandistock now as Stale and Aori go against one another. Stale getting a great first shot on Aori. Aori responding. Now Aori, that Sword of War is going to do some damage if he can get a feint off. But Aori is low on stam. Stale needs to push him.
Nice reads, but it's going to go to the third feint, and now all of a sudden both are within one shot of each other, and it's just going to be the speed of that look down overhead.
Very nice from Aori there. And now it's going to be Aori versus Double Trouble. Double Trouble with the fancy little kick there. And now he is fighting Beyond You. Double does have a little bit of damage to his name, though. But he's responding Beyond You. Not even getting a chance to talk with his weapon, let alone get any damage done. Now Miyamoto with the Zwei quad feint, not a one of them, knocking Double Trouble off his feet. He should be very low on stamina right now, but it doesn't matter. Miyamoto, beautiful reverse on Double there.
Yeah, and that's why it's going to match up very well versus that MAA. Ozcoff's going to really have to bust it out.
Oh, a failed feint. Definitely cost him the duel.
Yep, Miyamoto, somebody that didn't play in their last meetup, has 2 kills, and now he's looking just 2 more, and they will get to choose the map or the side. Mind Turtle does have that Sword of War stab feint on him, though, and will take him down.
Got it. Now we got Fist's Life bringing out the Morning Star against Mind Turtle's Sword of War. I don't know, if he can pull out some great drags with that Morning Star, he can make it work. Oh, a little bit of a failed one there. And that beautiful overhead. Both are very close to death. However, I think Life is almost stammed out.
Yep, this is going to be really close. That weapon, that Morning Star, is just so good and underrated. The reach on it is really, really great. Does a lot of damage, and the stab is so fast on it. You see 2 of those stabs taking down Mind Turtle right now. Oh, so many
Vincent.
from Vincent.
And now it's Vincent versus Voron. You do it Voron with those incredible Messer feints, but Vincent is not falling for a one of them.
It all comes down to this 1v1.
That it does. Beautiful faux reverse there. He's letting Voron get his stam out. And he is getting stammed out. Vincent needs to capitalize. And so he is, but oh, he takes a hit in the process. Nice! Accelerated overhead there. And that's going to be Omega with the pick for side choice.
Yep, so Fist will be banning first. It looks like they're going to be banning Hillside.
Alright. Would have expected as much.
And then, a ban on Stoneshill. They do not want to repeat Omega of that last victory.
I can't imagine, yeah, Fist taking down Omega as they did before. Makes sense. So we will see a different map with this grudge match.
Looks like that's going to be a pick of Dark Forest.
Oh, dandy.
So,
I suppose I should have expected as much.
ooh, Fist is going to choose Cove
Ooh, this could get very interesting.
for a
Oh,
ban.
you mean ban Cove?
For a ban. Yeah.
You're gonna
I got
ban
Cove.
Cove. Oh, okay. Darn it.
I got really
Got me all
excited for no
excited.
reason. Okay, Hideout is going to be the last ban, so it's going to be Battlegrounds.
So, Battlegrounds is 1 to 2. Dark Force is 3 to 4. Outpost is 5 to 6. Come on, I wish you were rigged, Die. It is going to be 5. Outpost again. I think that Fist, given that they won the last match against Omega in the prior tourney, I'm just going to give it to them through experience. Through that match. How about you?
I'm thinking that it looks like Omega has a really strong lineup. I'd like to see how they do here. I think that they might have what it takes to come back, but we will see as this gets underway.
Indeed, and so we have our teams here. Fist coming on Agatha with Life, Aori, Skeleton Meme, Voron, Miyamoto, and Beyond You, and Omega going Masons with Stale, Nub, Mind Turtle, Vincent, and Dank Go, Oskoff, Double Trouble. And we have begun in style. We've got the whole Agathian team going off of this log here, and we've already got a deep push from them. Got Fist coming down. They are going to lose life early, though. Aori's going to respond against Stale, and lots of fighting happening all over the place. No real major engagement, and it looks like Omega is just working with it. Oskoff with a beautiful double there. And they're just going to take it.
And it was interesting because Double Trouble actually went on the other side. So he actually didn't get to do much of that fight defensively. And in fact, you see that he got a couple assists off or whatnot. But, I mean, that was a really convincing wipe from Omega. But they're not going to be pushing up. They're going to be staying back. In fact, they're going to be taking a 2v2 over here by the tent. And it's going to look like a nice target switch onto that knight. But unfortunately for Fist, they're going to be beset upon entirely. Vincent takes down a double, and now they do have decent numbers. Double taking down Miyamoto. And this is going to be a wipe, although they do have one guy left. He's beaten and bloodied, and he's about to be destroyed.
That is Fist, folks. They come in strong, but they leave missing several limbs.
A Fist can miss limbs.
That is true. That is true. Fist is a fist. Yeah.
I think it'd probably be better to say that they're missing digits. Speaking of missing right now, on this right side, it looks like 2 members of Omega are missing. This is a 4v2. There's going to be a 2v1 that's going to take down Vincent Dinko. Now the numbers game is strictly in favor of Fist. There is a 2v2 over on the side, though, but they are getting burns if they want them. Then they want one. Great work by Stale, though, with his Brandy. Is keeping him busy enough for Oskoff to reinforce. A beaten and bloodied Aori is the only one left. They do have a couple tenths from that burn, but just like that last match that we watched with VK, they're not getting very many torch runners, so they're not getting a lot of bang for their buck on these. Oh, wow.
Thing of bang for your buck. Double Trouble gets his head exploded by a pole hammer. And we've got Omega trying to come back and defend this place. Fist is doing their darndest to take down these tents, and they're getting some decent progress. A third of both sides of the tents have gotten burned down. However, they don't have access to the fire anymore. They can't get anything else done in this push. Or so we think. We've got a 2v3 setting up over here by the main torch pile, but it's quickly turning into a 3v2, and the knight for Fist is just going to pull back. We do have this Vanguard way in the back at the torches here, trying to hold his own. Don't think it's going to work. There's a skeleton meme. Ooh! Oh, thought he had a chance there.
The rest of his team is grouped up, so if they went in right now, they would have a 5-5, but they're going to be more patient, they're going to be more restrained, which is honestly the right call here. And it's interesting, Omega is not wanting to push up at all. A good point is that Fist also, they play Brotherhood at Outpost in the charity tournament, so they have some more experience on this map. Although right now, they're going in as a distraction, and they've actually snuck everyone over. They're burning all the back tents.
Yeah, there's now about About 66%. 2/3 of both sides have been taken down completely. We've got a 2v1 with an archer and a van taking down another van from Fist, and he's going to go down succinctly. Skeleton meme. But now we've got a 2v1 over here between the two knights from Fist. However, they are getting beaten pretty darn hard. Now a 3v2. But now a 2v2. Beyond 2 takes down Nub. And quickly, Omega cleans up the mess that they left in the back.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Double Trouble here is using that light crossbow. Now they're going to go into a 3v3. Now it's going to be a 2v2 after 2 quickly go down. And reinforcements from Omega are going to make sure a beaten and bloodied MAA gets reinforcements too. So this is going to be a 4v3. Vincent Danko takes down Life. That's going to be a 2v1 and then another 2v1. Actually, it looks like they do take one down with them, but right now they just need to regroup on Fist's side. They've been opting for these pushes that utilize flanks to get distractions, to get some burns, but they're losing the engagements that way. So you'll see here this 2v2. It's timed such that there's no flank on the right side, so they can collapse on them quite easily without sacrificing anything. But now they're going to be a little bit late to this torch push.
Going to start taking those right tents down pretty hard. There, that was the last tent actually on the right side, so the right side is completely clean. Now just remains 2 tents on the left.
Yeah, Fist has been using their flanks as distractions rather than as let's have 2-pronged fights. And it looks like there's only 2 tents left.
Oh, they got one. Actually, there were 3, but one of them just finally burned down. Now there are 2 tents remaining. And 9 minutes and 11 seconds on the clock.
And they have people. They could do this.
They definitely could. Yeah, they should have this right here. They will indeed have it. With 9 minutes, they should take this objective. No problem, unless they miss a torch magically. But that's not happening. And they end with 15 minutes and 50 seconds on the clock for that first objective. Plenty of time to get that caravan through the gate.
Yeah, it looks like Omega's going to be trying to get a little spawn damage, though they're actually doing very well. They are spawn camping quite hard right now. They have 4 left, but now the spawns of this are going to wipe them up. And what this might actually do is actually if they wiped up a little bit harder, then it would mean that they can actually get a really strong push on the cart, and it would just set back Omega's spawns even longer.
Yeah, that is definitely the goal, it seems. However, even in doing so, Omega did a pretty effective time sink for Fist there, and they ate up almost a minute, actually. Oh my god, the double ballista!
Did that just happen?
I almost missed that!
Wow.
Oh. Alright, there's actual fighting. Holy freaking crap! This may not be Gomble with a kata, but whoever was on that ballista, thank you for giving me that moment. And Omega...
That was Oskov, and the thing is that Oskov is channeling his inner Dumbledore with those siege plays.
Siege weapons.
2v4 is not going to be very good for Fist, though. It doesn't matter what they channel with those numbers. They're going to go down. Looks like they do have... I'm loving it. Who's probably not loving it right now is Double Trouble, as he's stuck in a 1v2. Oof. Along with Vorant. Vorant right now. He's stuck in a 1v2 as well. Miyamoto comes up and tries to save him, though. The cart is moving. If they can fight on the cart right now, they will get some movement.
And they are getting just that. It looks like Fist is going to try to push up a little bit more, but Nub with that beautiful double, he is going to push out with some teammates. Now a 3v3 right up there. And let's see what happens. Nub gets taken down. Finally, kill streak is ended. And now Fist has the numbers. They need to push forth, and that is just what they're doing. They get a team kill in the process, though. And Double Trouble takes down Beyond You with a ballista. Masterful use of siege weapons.
Yeah, really faithful of that night. He had a lot of faith in himself. Didn't wait for his teammates. Went for that 1v1. Took down that knight. And another ballista.
Double, please. You're making me blush. That was beautiful. And he's an archer, too, so they're not actually losing any melee power by him being on the ballista.
Nope, that's always very efficient. And then you can also shoot between ballista reloads. But Fist is very strong here on this cart. They've been fighting on the cart, so they've been moving it, which is exactly what they need to do. Now it's looking like their momentum is starting to halt a little bit. Now they've only got one guy left. But they've moved it a good bit of the way.
That they have. I think this is about 3/4 of the way to the tree, which will fall. However, Omega is taking it back. They've got the momentum. They've stalled. Fist's got their quarterstaff man-at-arms just hanging out, making sure nobody gets on that ballista again. For good reason.
We don't see the opportunity to really push up on the side of the Masons, since Double and that Vanguard aren't there. This is actually going to be a momentary 5v4. Aori making the best of it. A 3v2 over on the left side of the cart. A Mason is just that Mason is just not doing anything, and now he's going to be stuck in a 2v1. And as soon as I say that, of course, he gets a kill in that 2v1.
But Voron right here, this 1v2. All these knights are one shot. Oh man, I had some serious hope for him.
That was such a close fight, and I really like Double Trouble. He's got 21 assists. He may be at the bottom of the scoreboard or whatnot because of the kills, but they've been putting him on those bridges. He's been getting those shots and those flinches to really enable his teammate. That's what's allowing people like Nub to go 19-8, 11 minutes and 42 seconds left.
That it is. And this cart, that's plenty of time to get this just where Fist needs it to go. But they can't keep wasting it. And that's just what they're doing. They are moving up, taking this engagement in their own hands. This is now a 4v3. And then scratch that 5v4 in favor of Omega now. And they're actually doing really, really well. Omega is coming out on top. It's just 2v2. Van Knight versus Knight Man-at-Arms. And the Knight Man-at-Arms look like they are going to win this out. Oh, but the Man-at-Arms, a badly timed parry, is going to lose that 2v2.
Yeah, it's interesting that the Man-at-Arms is choosing to go quarterstaff here. Number one, life is at the bottom of the scoreboard, so maybe he's trying to switch things up, see whatever will work or whatnot. But it's strong versus a triple knight comp, and there's no MAA on the other team to outduel him. So if you're going to go quarterstaff, this is the game to do it.
Yeah, functionally, mechanically, it's definitely a good counter at the moment. But he's just running in at the worst possible times, poorly positioned, and life just becomes useless in that scenario. Voron makes up for it, though, with a gorgeous double. Can he make it a triple? Let's see. He does with the incredible triple feint. Let's see if he can make it a quad. He does.
Oh, wow, Voron doing all he can. And life may be useless, which sounds really depressing when you say it out loud,
Yeah.
but Voron is anything but. And Miyamoto catching Double Trouble, that's going to desync the spawns quite decently. This is going to be a 4v4, but the reinforcements from Fist are going to get there first. So you see the MA is already in there, still already getting some work done with that spear. But if they fight on the cart, they will be moving this, and they will get this as part of the objective.
That they are, but Double with that ballista will stall it for just a moment. And we've got Skeleton Meme here, solo dolo moving this card up. And then the 1v1 over here between our two knights. Beyond You finally wins, and they break the tree down. And it's easy to forget that actually it's not breaking the tree down. I think it's like an ambush or something. But
yeah, what I think is interesting is it seems like if people know that the ambush is coming, it'd be
Right.
best if you could just go to the door from the first off. Why are you wasting time pushing this cart? But that's the way the objective is written.
Yeah.
Speaking of the objective, you have two members of Fist trying to get onto the objective. A target switch is going to try and take down that MA. But no! We're going to see 4 Fist members on this door, 5 Fist members. This is going very well for them. This is a very strong start to this objective.
absolutely. Very solid. We've got 3 people on that door. Everybody else is watching the flanks. And in fact, they don't even need everybody to watch the flanks. They are just destroying Omega as soon as they come out. And this door will break right now. 11 minutes, 45 seconds on the clock. A very solid time to take this final objective.
Yeah, that's going to make up. They had a bit of a slower first objective compared to what they would like, but they breezed through that second objective pretty decently, and now they're already onto the first objective, or the first part. And you actually see a Vanguard did not F1, so they're going to have numbers. Unless this Vanguard gets to them, before they're able to do anything, they're going to have numbers. In fact, you see a knight is getting the back hit onto one of the Omega Knights, so set up for a fifth success. In fact, they are capping right now.
Wow, incredible. Yeah, Miyamoto, I think with a triple at this point, finally gets taken down by Vincent. And we've got a 1v1 up here on the tower. Man-at-Arms v. Archer. Man-at-Arms should have this. He's using a war axe. That's rather interesting. He does stam out the Archer, but can't do anything thanks to the help of the Omega Knight. Vincent.
Yeah, I feel like Life is using... He's just throwing any weapon on his loadout and just seeing what sticks at this point. Quarterstaff didn't work out so well. Now he's using War Axe. He used Hatchet in the duel, I believe, in the Kendo. So we'll see what he sticks with.
He's an axe man.
If he sticks with anything.
Certainly.
All men are axe men.
Hey. Indeed. Speaking of axing people, Vincent has gotten a team kill, but has made up for it with 2 solid kills on Fist. They are getting succinctly, actually messed up in this engagement here. Not getting any progress whatsoever. They just seem to be very disjointed in that rush. Oh, they are taking down the Chieftains. We got Skeleton Meme over here soloing them. Let's see if we can see some sick Chieftain plays.
I'm waited with bated breath. But no, the Scumbag Masons are trying to reinforce their Chieftain. Oh, but the Chieftain does get a hit in.
The assist.
And he does a little dance right by the body for a second.
I like to think that's programmed in.
Vincent Dango in chat said thank you to Chieftain. He must have meant to type in a team chat instead of all chat.
Just to make the Chieftain feel needed.
These games are all about positivity. If you keep a good atmosphere and good positivity, then you can do great things. Just like Omega kicking off the onslaught over here on this left side. And nice shot by Double Trouble.
Omega is really showing up in this final objective. Somehow. They're just winning engagement after engagement.
Yeah, I really like what they're doing with Double Trouble on the outpost. Although what they have been utilizing, because Fist has been putting so much varied pressure on them, is they have, and honestly they didn't do it in the first objective either, when sometimes it's done. But we're not seeing many push-ups from Omega. I'm wondering if that's either inexperience from the map, because push-ups on this objective are undoubtedly the optimal way to play it, or if they have that in the repertoire, but they're just afraid to do it versus Fist's really staggered onslaughts.
Yeah, I think it might be. It's definitely one of those things for Omega. They seem
right now you don't have a staggered onslaught. Right now would be an optimal time to push up, but they are not.
Yeah,
so
I think it might be just the fact they're not maybe comfortable on this map enough to do something like that.
Yeah,
they're not sure of the timings and whatnot.
Yeah, and as mentioned earlier, we'll see how Fist plays defense. They played this map versus Brotherhood in January, so they do have some familiarity with this map. We'll see how those engagement styles differ.
Very interesting. However, we are still on this final objective. The tower's the last thing that remains. Sail opens up this engagement on Miyamoto, but gets a team kill before he gets a double. Omega is just winning out on these engagements time and time again. What has changed?
Double Trouble in that spot on top is #1 great because it gives them security. I mean, they had a knight try to sneak around and get onto there, but because there's an archer there, he's not capping anything. They'll just wait for their team to win and then take down the knight, and this is going to result in a staggered spawn for Fist.
He's gone. Yeah, that's bad. I said they had a lot of time before. 7 minutes and 20 seconds is enough to take this objective, but at what cost? I mean, they're losing a lot of time.
Yeah, it's enough to take this objective at a certain rate, but they are not living up to that speed.
Not at all. But Oskov again opening up this engagement. Omega just owning it here. Mind Turtle again with a team kill. It's not an Omega engagement if it's not a team kill. And Mind Turtle finishing it out.
That's part of the team culture and camaraderie. And now looks like, now with the middle door down, they are going to push. Now, if they haven't practiced these push-ups, they can actually do more damage than harm if they end up getting flanked and not accounting for all the members. In fact, one MA does get around. So we'll see how this turns out.
Fist seems to be... Oh, the team kill. Fist Firepot. They're left with 3 members?
4 members now.
4, yeah. One is severely bloodied.
Yeah, and they are going to try to... They're going to have to heal up. Otherwise, that light crossbow is just going to rip them to shreds. But it looks like they're going to send in perhaps a staggered spawn.
Yeah,
Right now, the optimal point is to do what they're doing right now, heal up. And it was interesting, they had an MAA that was going to go for a flank, but then he decided, actually I'm going to come around and help my teammate. And he really did a lot of work in there, Life did, who is on his Morning Star, which is his, at least the 4th weapon I've seen him use.
Wow, it's very versatile, MAA, for sure.
Yeah, MAA has such a diverse range of viable primaries. It's probably the class with the highest amount of very good primaries.
Yeah, there's options. And up here on the left side of the tower, we got a big engagement happening, but it seems like Fist is getting himself caught in a choke point, and every time they try to move past, somebody dies. And is this going to be a full clear? Looks like a very clean wipe, and it will be.
Omega that time, they pushed up and that first time, and Omega actually got into the result of that is Omega eventually got to the cap point, but by the time they got there, they all went on one tiny funnel. That you have to assault it from multiple angles. You have to come up from the stairs, you have to come up from the other side, otherwise you're just gonna get funneled like that.
Yeah, there's nothing to say here at this point. Omega is pushing up finally, but and they seem to be doing very, very well, eating up that clock. That clock has gone from 12 to 4.5 minutes.
Yeah, they're doing an awesome job here. In fact, they just got a kill on Aori. That's going to desync his spawn, and they'll be up in plenty of time to get there. It looks like Life has decided that he is making his goal to change loadouts
every
much as
spawn.
Now he has a shield. So
that's new. Double
so,
trouble.
Yeah.
My gosh.
It saves him from actually getting hit from one throwable so far. He's gonna try and back up and wait for a little teamwork, but they're gonna just be met in a 2v2 right now. The vanguards both go down at once. And now the longsword versus the shield and Morningstar setup. The shield and Morningstar can have this if it plays it right, but Vincent Dank Go says, I am just going to keep swinging, and if you don't block me, then you're gonna die.
Speaking of death, we have Fist's entire push get completely and utterly destroyed. All over the place, in fact. Very interesting. It's just this objective, for some reason, Fist is starting to choke.
Yeah, it feels like they don't know how to progress this, and if you look at the first objective, and the cart push, they lend themselves more to trickle pushes and scattered pushes like that, because even if you have 1 or 2 people, you can still get a lot of torch, you can still get a lot of cart push, but since they have double trouble constantly on this cap point, and you've seen them get one person at the cap point numerous times, but it's not going to catch it as long as double trouble's sitting there. You're seeing the deficit of those flanks and that trickle-ish strategy. They still do have about half of the cap point taken though, which is still a pretty decent
progress.
amount.
That is progress.
Yeah.
And that'll make all the difference when they are defending against Omega.
Yeah.
But I think this is probably all they're gonna get in the end. Nub, gorgeous double, and they just can't get any farther. Nub is exterminating them, one by one.
Yeah, Nub is 36 and 20. Has just been absolutely insane this match. And there he gets another one with his brandy. Only it's on his team. The 2v3 going to happen at the front. Looks like Skeleton Man is going to take down one. This is going to be a 3v1. This is going to need to be very clean. Thankfully for them, they do this. And now this is a 5-man push. They just took down some. They could actually make significant progress here.
Yeah, if not take the objective. Actually, no. Looks like Omega got almost a full spawn just then. And they are in really advantageous positions on this tower here. I don't see this going very well for Fist. Life does get a pick.
That's the advantage of pushing up on Omega's side. but at the same time, Fist funneled most of their people through that bottom. They're not using multiple avenues of approach. Aori takes down Mind Turtle. He takes down Double Trouble on the cap point, though. He is capping this.
Holy crap. Yeah, there's a minute 13 seconds. He could take this if he can bring down these two vans and a knight. No, he can't.
Yeah, basically, if he can take down half of the team by himself, then he can win. That's probably true of almost any objective. If you have someone that can just 1v3, you can do a lot of progress anytime. Looks like this is gonna be more trickles in from Fist, though.
This is just the beginning of the end.
They're trying to go for flanks. 45 seconds, they figured.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. The man-at-arms is up at the top. Okay, he's got the archer to contend with.
Yeah, he looks like this is all the progress they are going to get, most likely. But given how well they did on the first couple objectives, and given how, number one, they've seen Omega's push-up strategy, so at the very least they're aware of the push-up strategy. We'll see if they employ it themselves or not. But no matter what, this next round is going to be very interesting, and they very well could hold Omega and DNF them with less progress than Fist got.
Absolutely. Yeah, Fist, 2/3 of the tower on the final objective. That is a big bill to ask from Omega in this next game.
Yeah, that's actually, that's like 3/4 even. That's very big.
Again, we have Omega going on Agatha as attackers and Fist on Mason as defenders.
Yeah, and already we see 2 halberds and a triple knight come out on the side of Omega. So we will see just how well this works on attacking, since they don't have the MAA, they have the archer instead.
This is a really weird split going on. We got 4 right, 2 left, 2v2 on the left, and I'm guessing a 4v4 on the right. And this 2v1 now on the left seems to be going the way of the attackers. Quickly turned into a 1v1. Let's go back to the big picture here. Or not. Here it is. Yep, this is Voron versus Double Trouble. Double Trouble's actually doing decently well, but he does get taken down. And now, Stale actually wins the 1v1, and he may yet get it.
Gets stamped out, but I mean, honestly, Miyamoto almost looked like he was just missing in order to wait it out, wait for reinforcements. Which would have, if that was purposeful, was actually a really good move on his part. If you're in a 1v1 like that, and you can just keep your combo going and intentionally missing, you can stall and wait for push-ups. That's something that lots of teams don't do enough.
For sure. We've got, what is this, a 4v3 over here? Quickly going the way of Fist. Fist is performing very, very well on this first objective. Not a tent down yet on the way of Omega.
Yeah, Vorant 4-0 with that knight, really showing up, and I'm really impressed with how the way they're allocating on this right side. They've got 1 tent burned each, but now they've got fire, they've got individuals ready to make sure that these flanks aren't going to go anywhere. Although right now Fist actually has 3 allocated to pick up that flank, which gives Omega some room on this other side. You see them already taking 2 kills. They could actually get a lot of burns here.
They could very well. And the left side, it's going to be a 2v1. Fist is forced to just go in with their 1 knight on this left side here, and he will probably go down. But the double parry actually... Okay, yeah, Omega has this left side all to themselves. They have both sides all to themselves. They should be able to get a lot of progress.
Yeah, Oskov going off all over Fist.
Oskov going off.
And Vincent Danko just making a masterpiece as he wins that 2v3 with them. And it looks like now Fist is going to stop the burns. They didn't get a lot of torches off for the amount of time they had that side, though.
That's very true. Yeah, they got about half of both sides. Oop, they are taking down this right side of attacker, however. And there's 1 tent remaining.
And what's really great for them is they do have that far corner tent on that corner side away from their spawn, which is probably the hardest tent to get.
Yeah.
So if they can get onto this left flank, they can get those tents really fast. Same thing with the right flank, though slightly less fast. In fact, they do send a 2v2. They're sending these these two-man flanks consistently. I wonder if they think that this is an optimal 2v2 setup. Synergy going on, but it's not tending to work out so well for them.
Yeah, Mind Turtle gets that TK. This is a foregone conclusion, methinks. And so it is. Life takes down Mind Turtle. And it looks like Fist has this under control. They did send some scouts up front, and it was just Skeleton Meme, but he did go down.
Yeah, and I like how Fist is playing this objective. You saw VK doing strong push-ups or whatnot, but I like how they're just paying attention to allocation. They're matching numbers really well. To match a 2v2, a 4-2 flank actually requires more coordination than most people will give. If you put too many people, then it can go bad. If you put too few, it'll go worse.
Yeah, it's going to be a spur-of-the-moment thing most of the time. Omega doing a really good push this time. Mind Turtle does get that TK, and Aori responds. However, it looks for the most part like Omega is getting some decent progress, but Fist is finally coming to the fore again. It looks like Omega kind of got a little bit of tunnel vision there, but they are getting
right
rewarded.
Now, though. Nub is on. He's already burned 110. All he has to do is burn the
He's
last
going to get
10.
the other one. That's the objective. Very nice. 17 minutes and 22 seconds. I think that was a faster time than Fist had.
Yeah, but just barely. And
Right.
remember, Omega was blown by on the second objective on the second half of it. So we'll see how well they can get this push. At the same time, they are not being spawn camped like Fist
true.
was.
This is interesting. They're having a much easier time of most of this. And the ballistas aren't nearly as on point as before with Oskov. Oh, and double trouble with beautiful decapitation. And Omega's just got this cart in the bag, it seems. Looks like we may have a slight problem with Beyond You over here.
Yep. Well, unless they call a pause.
Then yeah, it keeps going. The night goes on, and that cart is moving fast, unhindered.
Oh shoot! They did call a pause.
Oh. Having some connection problems.
Yeah.
Alright.
So we will see exactly what happens. Looks like he not just crashed, he may have just gone off. I don't know. Yeah, it looks like Fist is going to forfeit the match, but they're going to play it out as a 5v5 most likely.
Okay.
Oh, they actually might not be interested in that.
Okay. And for everyone watching, we do disable the chat on the stream just for organization purposes.
Okay, looks like looks like this is going to be it, which is a sad ending. It's a sad ending, Teripper.
This was shaping up to be such a good game. Man.